Now, this actually should be easier than what you already been doing. This is 45, 45, 90 triangles, okay? And your blueprint is at the top, okay? So your blueprint never changes, okay? Your blueprint is always going to be, it's always going to be the same. So the blueprint is what's above the dotted line, okay? So it's above the dotted line. Now, let's say you have 8 here and you have X and Y. Okay. Now, first of all, in this case, what's cool about this triangle is that there's a little bit of a shortcut. Okay. X is going to be the same thing as Y. Okay. Because if the angles are the same, okay, because if the angles are the same, so are the sides. Okay. So if you look right here, 45 is across from the 1, 45 is across from the 1 over there. Okay, so if the angles are the same, long story short, if the angles are the same, then that means the sides across them are going to be the same. Okay, so if this was 2, if this yellow highlight was 2, this would be 2. If this is 10, that's 10. If that's 20, that's 20. Okay, because the angles across them are the same. Okay, so even though this says X and Y here, you just need to solve for one of them, and the other one's going to be the same number. Okay? All right. Now, let's go ahead and link this up. Okay, what colors I was using. Let's solve for, let's do X. Okay, the 8 links up with, the 8 is the longest side, or it's the side across from the, is across from the 90 degrees. Okay, and the side across from this 90 degrees is root 2. Okay. All right. Okay, or you can think of it, I like to think of it that way, or you can think of it as 8 is the longest side and root 2 is also the longest side. But I would rather you think of it as it's a side across from the 90 degrees. Okay? So I'm going to link up 8 with root 2, and I'm going to link up X with 1. Okay? So I'm going to go X over 1 equals to 8 over root 2. X times root 2 is 8 times 1. Yes. And by the way, folks, your X could have been linked up. You could have linked your X up with that one. It doesn't matter because they're both the same. That's the cool thing about this. Okay, with the 45, 45, 90, you have more flexibility. Okay. All right, but I chose to link it up with that one. You can link it with whichever one possible. Okay. Because there is no medium side here. There's just a short side. These are both short sides. These are all short sides, and these are long sides. There's no medium. Okay? So I'm going to link the short side, which is X, with any of the other short sides, which is 1 or 1. Okay, it does not matter. So now, X is equals to 8 over root 2. Okay? and this is going to be 8 root 2 over 2, and 8 over 2 becomes 4, and you will get 4 root 2. Okay? Now let's pretend you have, I'll show you guys one more example. Let's pretend you have this here. Okay? I'll put, and you actually don't have to link up y in this case. Okay? You don't have to link up y. I mean, you can if you want. You can do y all over again. But x in this case is going to be the same as y. So y is going to also equal to 4 root 2. Okay? Now, let's pretend you have a 6 here. Okay? And they want you to find x and y. Okay? Let me try to quote unquote confuse you guys. Okay? I'm going to just rotate this. Okay? Like that. Oh my goodness, so confusing. Okay? And I have 6 here, and I have y right there. Okay? So right off the bat, the short sides are always going to be equal to each other. And these are the short sides here. Okay? Those are the short sides right there, and they're always going to equal to each other. So if this is 6, x is also going to be 6. Okay? X is also going to be 6. We're done with the x's. You see how easy that is? Okay, now let's link up the y's. The y is the long side. I'm going to link it up with the root 2. Okay, the 6 is a short side. I'm going to link it with any of these ones. You could do it with any of these ones. It doesn't matter. I'll choose to do it with that one. Okay, so I'm going to go y over root 2 equals to 6 over 1. Okay, and I get y times 1 equals to 6 times root 2. And y is pretty much by itself because anything times 1 is just itself. Okay, and that wraps up today's videos, folks. I am going to throw up some problems, okay, for 454590. Just hang tight.